online e-learning, which is in various forms, is the alternative. And therefore, we are aware that keeping into the diversity of this country, the students are there in the rural areas also. They are populated in other areas where internet facility is not there. But wherever the facility is there, they can use the e-resources, online resources. But besides that also, we have this 32 DTH channels also. We have Swayam Prabha uh, is there, and then on Doordarshan and other channels also, the students can use that, and on Akashvani also. And besides this, we have also requested our teachers, our academic fraternity to help students also through other modes. They can get some notes, they can photocopy those notes and send it to the students in different ways. Now, through speed post also, they can share the notes. Under the academics calendar also, we have suggested that after this closing of the institutions, which was there on 16th of March, we have requested the higher education institution to continue the teaching learning through whatever mode is possible. And at the very beginning, on 25th of March, we issued an advisory, UGC issued an advisory to all the higher education institutions, suggesting the many options which are there for the e-learning resources.
Like Swayam.
Whatever is available, so that the students are aware of that, the teachers are aware, they can use of that. We provided links to the academic fraternity, and that helped a lot. Then this through Swayam Prabha is also we are reaching to the students.
So, sir, one of the another very important platform, MOOC platform is Swayam, sir.
Yes.
So, sir, and a large number of students are now getting into Swayam platform. Initially, pre-COVID, the adoption of Swayam was not great by universities, sir. So do you think, sir, that UGC is now will be more successful in pushing universities to adopt Swayam platform for giving credit, sir?
Yes. Actually, under the Swayam regulations, which is existing there of 2016, and there is a mention that universities can take through Swayam MOOCs up to 20% of the credit could be given of the total courses. But we are also now thinking to increase it up to 40%, so that more courses are available. We have already requested the higher education institutions to adopt these MOOCs, and also to study through Swayam, and also to have a mechanism of credit transfer. And now we will be writing to them, emphasizing, reiterating, and so that would be beneficial to the students. At the same time, UGC and the inter-university centers of the UGC, which are there, that CEC, Consortium for Educational Communication, and this INFLIMNET, Information and Library Network, these all three institutions are working together, and so that these we have more successfully implement these on Swayam portal.
Fantastic, sir. So, sir, I would like to take back our discussion to the examination. Sir, previously, because the academic calendar was stretched, a large number of students would actually get opportunity to reappear for exams to improve their grades, to improve their marks, sir. Now, in the current situation, whether that kind of facility will be available to them, sir?
Yes. We have provided that opportunity into the guidelines, and we have requested the higher education institutions that students should be provided with this option, and it is mentioned very clearly in the guidelines. If any student wants to improve the grades, he or she may appear in the special exams for such subjects during the next semester. That provision we have made. If you look at the guidelines, you will find out that they are more student friendly, and the interest, the health, safety concerns of the students community at large, they have been addressed in these guidelines.
So another worrying factor for large number of youngsters will be, especially for youngsters who are doing post graduations and PhDs, because a lot of laboratory work is also involved. With undergrads, you can always give an exam, you pass out, you get degree. But when it comes to MTechs, MPhils, PhDs, there's huge amount of laboratory work or field work which they have to do. Now,
Yes, yes.
considering this COVID crisis, they may not able to go to labs or they may not able to go on field. So, sir, what these new guidelines actually offer for them?
Actually, committee which was there, they also discussed this issue with the fellow vice chancellors and the head of the institutions. And in the guide, on the basis of that, on the basis of the recommendations of the committee, we have suggested in the guidelines that some ways and means be evolved, so that students who can go to laboratories and can conduct, because they are sometimes the experiments are time bound, and therefore they have to go to laboratories and to have those experiments done. So one thing that has been requested, but another thing is that for keeping into mind the concerns of the MPhil and PhD students, we have extended the period of the submission of their theses by 6 months. Another in these guidelines provision is there that the viva voce of the or defense of the PhD can also be conducted through video and other methods remotely that can be done. So these two privileges have been given in the guidelines.
So these examination guidelines, which you have put, or academic guidelines, which UGC has put out, sir, whether they are time bound and whether they are just confined to this COVID crisis, or now you look at these guidelines as a long-term change and it's a new normal for UGC?
Actually, the way the post-COVID situation has been projected, and we are going through it, and we have to perhaps learn to live with for this coronavirus. Something is like that, suggestions, and therefore, although guidelines have been framed for the current session and how the next academic session would be, because the current session being late will affect the admissions and other processes of the next academic session. So how those things, but one thing is there that we are suggesting that higher education institutions, besides the campus learning, and they should also think of the ICT enabled education, the use of e-learning, the IT enabled methods, the various resources which are there, and to also to promote online. But at the same time, face-to-face teaching should also be there, and therefore we can think of where the situation is like that and there is no normalcy, there are no chances to have the examinations and the physical.
Maybe in red zones, red zones you are talking about.
So whatever the situation would be there then in July, then institutions can think of this. So in that way, you can see that these guidelines are very much student friendly, stakeholder friendly, institutional friendly, and the guidelines provide flexibility